But I think that there is, you know, you have these optimistic characters in the movie that, oh, is that titillationally, you say like, Saw is dark, you know, because people get their arms sawed off. But people get their arms sawed off in our movie too, but for different reasons. For moral reasons, to teach a lesson. No answer, I rambled, sorry. We also tried there's the supplemental material that's inside the graphic novel, the under the hood stuff, and the superpowers of the superpowers, the articles about Adrian, the question and answer, or the question and answer with Adrian, the Sally stuff, all that stuff, which has no images that come along with it, but that I wanted to try and get some of that in the movie as well. So it was already like, well, just the pictures alone will get you a 5-hour movie. You're going to try and get some of this other stuff. I mean, I think in there you saw Dollar Bill with his cape caught in a revolving door, which I think is a cool, it's an interesting sort of superhero moment. The idea that capes are an issue, which I find really, when you start to talk about superhero mythology and those things, you need to, those are moments of importance. And so I think that in the adaptation of the graphic novel to script, you know, we kind of have a basic structure, and then it was about, for me, just, look, you're going to end up with some stuff that's not in there. It's just the way it is. But I wanted to get at the character. I wanted to get the why of Watchmen. So if anything, I think that, you know, we had to cut out some bits that were maybe someone might consider more actiony or a little less about, you know, the inhabitants of Watchmen, and more about the, you know, sort of the big pictures. Although there are a lot of big pictures in the movie too. So I think that's the thing that pop culture has to sort of deal with now, is that superhero movies, comic book movies, whatever you want to call them, they don't exist just as, you know, summer, popcorn, mindless entertainment. They actually, like, look, this is important. It talks about humanity. It talks about a bunch of stuff that is serious. And so not only are they saying, okay, these are serious topics, but serious filmmakers and serious actors are making these into cool movies. And I think that, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else is out there. There's a lot of other graphic novels out there. I would like to see at one day Frank's Dark Knight, like, you know, made into a movie. That's just me.
We actually worked very little on green screen, which was really cool in this movie.
Except on Mars.
Yes.
Yeah, Mom and Billy had a lot of green screen.
Yeah, so you should actually answer that question. Because I worked very little on green screen.
So did I. Worked very little on green screen as well, except for Mars. It's more expensive to shoot there. They said it's a big budget picture, but they can't go to Mars. It was a huge challenge. You know, it was an imaginative challenge to take yourself. Well, it was much harder actually for the people playing opposite me to look at me with 140 dots on my face and his helmet glowing blue and battery packs on my hips.
It was very attractive. It was very like the comic book.
She was really classy about it too. She laughed in my face for the first week.
No, but it was definitely, I think you have to tap into your imagination at that point, because when you're on Mars, you know, and you're actually just looking at a green screen, I mean, to stand there and go, oh, it's so beautiful, and you're looking at the green wall, you know, you definitely have to go back to your childhood days and find your imaginary friends.
Or really love green.
But I think that was, I mean, most of it was done pretty realistic, you know. I think we were the only ones who had the challenge of Mars, which was, for me anyway, it was pretty amazing now to see it done and finished, and it literally brought tears to my eyes. It looks so fantastic. So it's exciting.
Yeah, these guys haven't seen any of this stuff, so I try and keep it from them.
I also think what should be mentioned is that the characters are so full and so complex, and there's so much going on. And I've done things on green screen a lot, and a lot of times if you don't have a character that you can invest in so fully, you end up feeling lost and sort of like nothing is real, you know? And I think in this case, there's so much internal life in all of these characters that in those moments where there are, you know, it really gives you a lot of support. So, and it's such a phenomenal group of actors who all love transforming into a character. So when you're opposite anybody, it's just like you have each other, and you have the vision of Zach, you know, our fearless leader, to take us down the road. And as an actor, you always feel like you need to, at least for me, I want to be able to jump off the cliff and know that someone will tell me if what I'm doing is awful, because that's part of finding something great, you know, and have a vision that you can really trust. And it doesn't come along all the time, and someone who has such care and such specificity and such passion. So that really made the great, you know, all the other stuff sort of falls to the wayside. Thank you.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. How are you doing? Woo! Jeffrey just got off a plane from Thailand. Is that correct?
I did, yeah.
And how's that working out for you right now?
I'm a little bit in a daze. But otherwise good, thank you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nihilism that the Joker brought up here a minute ago,
Yeah.
what was it like to play? I mean, the comedian is not a funny guy. He's very
I thought he was
twisted
hilarious.
guy. But he was hilarious. What was it like to, you know, we talked about this, but I'd love it if you could share with the audience.
Yeah,
just like,
Well, there were days that I'd go home from work and I'd be a little bit in a daze. He does some particular things that I wouldn't naturally do as a person.
That's good.
But like Dan's character, I think we all pull for the comedian.
well, in what way?
It was a challenge. Every day was a challenge with this. I found getting into the costume and sticking a scar in my mouth helped a great deal, kind of get in the mood to kill people. That seemed to help. But you know, I'm not gonna lie. There was days that I'd be like, shit, that was a lot of stuff today. Some stuff with Carla. Carla and I had a couple of days of shooting that will stay with me for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You know, Matthew, you can't hide. You have to speak. You know,
You see, we believe that this was to find top quality men.
I believe you.
I hope so.
Well, there's something you do with an accent. Publicly, you speak in one way, but privately, you kind of slip a little bit of German there. Is that kind of accurate?
Oh God, I'm gonna get mobbed now.
What's that about?
Well, I mean, it was sort of the words of. I'll take it back a bit further than actually, because I really had no idea about Watchmen at all when I first got it. I mean, I was in the middle of shooting a very, very English period drama, playing a slightly ambiguous homosexual, and I got these two sides. One with the Lee Iacocca scene on it, and one where I'm telling someone I've killed 15 million people. And if you don't know the book, that's like, what the fuck is this? So I phoned a friend, as one is wont to do in this sort of situation, who was American, and he was absolutely no help at all, but he got onto Wikipedia pretty quickly, and he was like, well buddy, looks like you're playing another gay. But the good thing is, looks like he's a stoner. So I was like, thanks for all your help. Put it on to tape, and then obviously, let's say in the words of Peter O'Toole, once, I mean, I read the script, and then obviously the Bible that is Watchmen. And so in the words of Peter O'Toole, regardless of what's in front of you, you still have to make your character flesh.